Hey everyone, I'm Joe Ferzoco.
I'm Chris Ferzoco, and Joe and I are talking about market statistics today, and we are going to be looking at December of 24 versus January 2025. And what we're going to look at here, Joe, is going to be looking at all properties that are on the multiple listing service. So what does that mean, folks? It means we're looking at vacant lots, duplexes, multifamilies. We're going to look at beachfronts, bayfronts, efficiencies, 6-bedroom homes, 10-bedroom homes, whatever that happens to be. Commercial properties as well. So if it happens to be on the multiple listing service, it is involved in these numbers. Because what we're looking at here is we're going to look at the overall value of property. We're going to look at the number of properties that came up for sale. We're going to look at the number of properties that sold, meaning they were already under contract and they closed. And then we're also going to be looking at the percentage of sale price versus the actual list price that people are asking for.
All right, fantastic. Like to hear it. We're going to see what we have to talk about there. And hey, if you like what you see, you like what you hear, please subscribe below, tap that bell for instant notifications, and even hit the like button. That way you'll be the first to get the most up-to-date market information, of course, happenings down here at the Jersey Shore. Not that Jersey Shore, our Jersey Shore. Ventnor, Margate, Longport, Somers Point, Ocean City, Strathmere, Sea Isle, Upper Township, Stone Harbor, Avalon, North Wildwood, Wildwood Crest, West Wildwood, Diamond Beach, Cape May, North Cape May Villas, and Cape May Courthouse, and everything in between. One of these days, we're going to get you to say, 6-family, single-family as fast as we do for there. And of course, if you're looking to buy or sell here, whether it's this week, next week, 6 months from now, or a year from now, please feel free to reach out. Give us a call, shoot us a text. It'll be our pleasure to help you with all of your real estate needs down here at the shore. So Chris is going to get us started with some market statistics to December 24 into January 2025. Talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about how we ended the year versus how we started the year. So in Ocean City, we actually had an overall value. We did actually see no change. Actually, we went from 1.3 to 1.38, so virtually no real change in the overall value of property in Ocean City. As for the number of properties that actually sold, we actually saw a 10% decrease, actually, so just a slight change there. 56 down to 50 for the number of properties that sold, and for that came on the market was a huge jump. We actually were up 169%. We went from 33 properties coming on the market in December to 89 properties coming on the market in January. Again, which we always talk about, inventory. We're still super low in Ocean City. At the time we're shooting this video, there's only a total of 250 type properties for sale. So to have that kind of number come on the market is huge. And what can attest to that, Joe, is we also know that in December, a lot of properties come off the market because the year is ending. As for the overall list price to sale price, we saw a 2% increase. We're actually 97% right now versus 95%. So that's a good sign there too. Now, for Sea Isle City, we actually saw a 31% increase in the overall value. We went from 1.3 to 1.75. So nice jump there into Sea Isle City to start the year off. And then for the number of properties that sold, we actually pretty much static there. We had 13 in December. We had 12 in January. And as for the numbers that came on the market, they flip-flopped. We had 12 in December. We had 13 in January. So what's really interesting with that is, though, Joe, you'd see like, okay, we had 13 sell. We had 12 come on the market. The following month, we had 12 sell, 13 come on the market. So what does that mean? Zero change in inventory. It comes on, it sells. It comes on, it sells. So that's pretty much what's happening in Sea Isle right now, which is why you're seeing that overall value increase that we saw, because naturally low inventory continues to push those values up. As for the overall sales value, actually went up, sale price to list price was at 98% versus 97%. So you actually were getting even a little bit more.
Okay, very good. Well, let's move down the parkway a little bit here, and we're going to go into the Wildwood. So let's start off with North Wildwood again, rolling in January 25 compared to December of 2024, just month to month. That's what we do, just keeping track of what's going on. So we had a 9% increase. Your average sale price for January was $613,000 compared to $558,000 at the end of the year in December. We did see a 52% decrease in the number of properties that sold. We only had 10 sell in January compared to the month of December. And then we did see a 58% increase in the number of properties that came on the market. Again, much like Chris was saying with Ocean City and Sea Isle, it's now the beginning of the year as opposed to December, the end of the year. Properties tend to come off the market a little bit more. So we had 26 come on the market. Your list price to sale price was running right around 97, 98%. Moving to Wildwood, we had an 18% increase from December, $718,000. Again, was your average sale price in January. We had a 17% increase in the number of properties that sold. We had 18 sell. And we had a 76% increase, 76% increase. We only had 8 come on the market in December. We had 34 come on the market in the month of January, so that's a big number there. And again, your list price to sale price running right around 97% for your list price to sale price in values there. Wildwood Crest, we had a 6% decrease and your average sale price, which was a little strange, but dropped down to $524,000 for the month of January. We had a 50% decrease in the number of transactions. We only had 5 properties close, and we had a 74% increase in the number of properties. 19 came on the market. Again, these are huge percentages. There's just not a lot of property. I mean, between Wildwood and Wildwood Crest, there was only 53 properties that came on the market total in both towns.
A lot of sizzle, not a lot of steak.
Yeah, exactly right. So we want to be careful with that. It'll be even better with Sea Point Village and Diamond Beach. Speaking of, the average sale price there, that actually was about $697,000 as opposed to $740,000 in December. We had a 50% increase in the number of transactions. We went from 1 in December to 4. And then with the amount of properties that came on the market, we had a 75% increase. We went from 1 to 4. So again, it's massive numbers, but really, we had 4 properties come on the market, and every one, we had 1 a week come on the market in Diamond Beach and Sea Point Village. So yeah, 75% is huge, but not really.
Right.
Your list price to sale price, though, again, consistent for both months, was sitting right around 97%. In Cape May, we had, again, a big increase. January was a really good month in Cape May, even compared to January 2024. So January 25 was really pretty rocking. Your average sale price was $1.86 million. That was a 35% increase from $1.22 in December. We only had 6 transactions in the month of January, and that was a 45% decrease. And then it was pretty much identical with the amount of inventory that came on. We had 4 come on the market in January. We had 5 in December. So not really much of a change there, too. So not much growth in regards to inventory in Cape May, which, again, as you said with Sea Isle, you continue to see those increases in prices because simple supply and demand. You just don't have a lot there when it comes to product for people to choose. So that's kind of take care of from the island. So you want to kind of jump offshore a little bit, Chris, and into the mainland. So talk about it.
Yeah, getting into the primary home market, Joe. Not much of a change from what we're seeing on the trend, if you will, with the shore properties. I mean, you look at Upper Township, 38% increase, right? So we went from 624 up to 865,000 average sale price there in Upper Township. The number of properties that actually sold, we actually saw a 35% decrease. We went increase. We actually went from 13 up to 20. So we actually had a good amount of sales actually in January versus December. Yeah. And then actually we saw pretty much static. We had 9 properties come on the market in January versus 8 in December. So pretty consistent with that. But I was really surprised at the number of properties that had actually sold, which really what that means is that they were under contract leading into the month of January. And then closing out. Overall sales price to list price, we actually were pretty much virtually the same, sitting right at a little over 94%, which is the same month over month. Summers Point, we actually saw a 39% decrease in the overall value. This was one of the only areas that I noticed that actually had a decrease in the value. It actually went from 546 down to 329,000. So just, not really sure exactly what's causing that. Again, it could just be what was selling, because when you look at the number of properties that sold, you had 14 sell in the month of December. And then you only had 5 in January. So you could have just been, at that point in time, could have just been the value of those homes, not enough to average it out in comparison to the month of December. So again, you only had 5 sell versus 14. And as for the number of homes that came on the market, we actually saw a big increase. We actually went up 233%, massive number, right? 20 homes came on the market versus 6 in the month of December. So that's a good thing, though, because that's people that were probably maybe holding off to the end of the year, get through the holidays, let me list. But they're listing. They're coming on the market. So that's good inventory. That puts you in a position there where you're virtually, almost you're on the plus side of inventory. Overall value, sale value versus the list price was actually up to 98% from 96%. So some good numbers there in the overall market there in Summers Point. That huge drop is obviously a little disconcerting, but don't panic. It's just kind of, I believe it's just a matter of it's going to pop right back up.
Yeah, absolutely. And because we kind of have that. So if you go into North Cape May, 18% decrease in their average sale price, down to 405,000. Which we haven't seen below 400,000 in months, maybe probably even a year in North Cape May. So your average sale price was 405,000. That was an 18% decrease from December, which was sitting up right around 492,000, just under the $500,000 threshold. So we'll kind of watch that, see what happens here as we move into February and March and whatnot. As far as the number of properties that came on the market and the number of properties sold, identical December and January pretty much. We had 8 sell or close out in January. We had 10 in December. We had 4 come on the market as opposed to 5 in December. So not much from a standpoint of inventory hitting the market either there. So we'll watch that. Your average list price, sale price in North Carolina was actually, ironically enough, was a little bit lower. Both months was 95% in December and only 96% in January. So a little bit lower as far as the list price to sale price. We'll kind of keep an eye on that too. And then finally, when we're in Cape May Courthouse, your average sale price dropped 7%. About $23,000. Went from it was $455,000 in January as opposed to the $487,000 in December. Number of properties, the number of transactions that we had in January was identical to December. It was 11. And then the number of properties that came onto the market, again, that big number, 61% increase. We went from 3 to 18. The good news is 18 came on. It wasn't 3. So that's, again, that's a plus there. We'll watch that a little bit too. And then your list price to sale price, that did drop a little bit. That was around 96% as opposed to 98% in December. So we'll kind of watch those too, making sure that sellers, buyers and sellers agreeing upon a price where is that happy medium for everybody there. So that'll sort of wrap up the stats there, Chris, for January 1st to December. Anything jumping out besides what we've already talked?
I think you'd agree. Like, there's no real surprises here. I mean, like you said, like there's some of these huge numbers, but when you look at the way the 24 ended, when you had the election, we then rolled right into holidays, and it's for us here at the shore, it's been a little bit of a harder winter, right? It's been significantly colder than last year. And a lot of wind this year. So you just don't get the day trippers to come down that want to take a look at property, maybe get on the beach for a walk or something. You just don't get that. So there's some opportunities sometimes that can be lost or be missed. Now, the great news is we watch these numbers, we start to roll into February, and then they'll start to pick themselves up. So again, there's no panic here because really you didn't see too many significant decreases in value. We saw a lot of increases in the number of homes coming in the market, so that's good. So we just want to continue to watch these numbers and hopefully just continue with the momentum. We're not starting off with any more homes than we really ended the year with. I mean, when I was looking at homes how many were on the market in each town, it's no different than what it was all last year. So we're still in the same boat, but it just has a feeling of like a little, you were saying it to me earlier, there's just a little bit more momentum. The vibe is just so much better. And as we head into into this year and getting into the middle of now the first quarter, really kind of see where these numbers kind of bear out and where people are. Where's the consumer confidence? Yeah, rates are still where they are. They're still a little bit higher than people want to see. But is that consumer confidence there, especially for us heading into our spring market? So I think what's real important for everyone to remember, and we touch about this on a lot of our videos, Joe, is that our market is not your market at home.
Right.
And it's very important. Sometimes it's seasonality. Sometimes, so there's a lot of things at play here. So if you're thinking about, well, what's it going to cost me to buy a house? What's it going to cost me to sell my house? What's my value? Those are the answers that you need to get from us from here. Don't make the assumption based upon what's happening at home. Because it's not the same market. It really isn't.
No, not at all. And I think you nailed that with regards to like the seasonality of it. We're really starting to get into that. Into that spring market. We're in the month of February. We've always said, right around that Super Bowl time, that things really, once that sort of gets behind us and Valentine's Day, that you really start to take off. The rental market starts to kick off and their mindset just starts to shift. Okay, winter's over.
90 days, it's Memorial Day.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of, exactly right. 90 days is Memorial Day. So it's like, okay, you just start grinding through before you know it, it's St. Patty's Day, and all of a sudden you're into April and Easter, and it just bang, 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 bang. So really kind of, this is the time when we really start to see things start to take off. And of course, we'll monitor that. When we get into February, March, as we start to look at those numbers, those are the trends that we expect to see as we have every single year moving forward there. So, all right, that's going to wrap that up, Chris. December 2024, January compared to December 2024. Again, if you want some more in-depth information, maybe market statistics on your specific property, if you're maybe thinking of selling, please reach out. And of course, if you want more information on a specific town and area of a town for a criteria, if you may be thinking about buying, please reach out to us. We can certainly kind of put that all together specifically for yourself. So he's Chris, I'm Joe, and until next time, we'll see you at the beach.